Inside, Alfred North puts Dallas on top.
We need to play better, so that's really where our focus is.
Zeke Elliott coming right, 50-yard line and sprinting. He's going 20 and 10. Zeke Elliott. He peels around left. Now he throws it in the end zone. Jason Witten. Touchdown. Cowboys win.
Give to Elliott up the middle at the 20 to the 10, and he will go to the end zone. Ezekiel Elliott with 9 seconds left. What a football game!
Over and over again, in critical moments, he came up with big plays. He just played winning football for us. The kind of team we want to build, handle any situation, go on and have the kind of guys who are going to respond the right way. He's certainly done that all year long.
Good day. Welcome into First Take on this Friday Eve. Thank you so much for hanging with us. Max and I here in Bristol. Stephen A. is in New York City. What's going on, guys?
Who the hell came up with that lead?
Oh, why do you get so angry?
This is what we got to deal with today. I mean, the show hasn't even started yet, and I got to be annoyed and disgusted with highlights of the Cowboys. This is a Max Kellerman
thing. Too early for this.
He put y'all up to this. Molly, you put him up to this. What's wrong with y'all?
See, I haven't had any caffeine yet.
Get this agitated this early in the morning still.
This is a lot. This is a lot right now for me.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Y'all don't get where I'm coming from? Y'all don't feel my annoyance? I mean, are you kidding me? The show hasn't even started yet, and already a bunch of highlights from the Cowboys?
The real deal. Dak's the real deal. Cowboys won the draft. I faced it.
They haven't won the division yet either. Let's be honest.
All right. Let's get into it. So
Miss
it's
Connecticut,
Thursday.
You're such a traitor.
Now he brings back Miss Connecticut. That's what he wants to. That's what he wants to hate on me.
Ad hominem.
Love you too, Dr. Smith. So it's Thursday, and you know what that means. Week 13 in the NFL kicks off tonight. Dak Prescott and his 4th-ranked offense is taking on the Vikings and their 3rd-ranked defense. So what will give Dallas favored by 3? And it is still uncertain if Mike Zimmer, who had emergency eye surgery, will coach in that game. I apologize there. I thought we had a little bit of sound, but we don't. Stephen A., let's get right into it. Will this game tell us anything about Dallas?
No. It's not going to tell us anything about the Dallas Cowboys. What is it going to tell us? I mean, the Vikings have an elite defense. We all know that. Xavier Rhodes is a bad boy, a corner that I think needs to be recognized as being one of the great corners in the game today. But offensively, what do they have? There's no Adrian Peterson. That means there's no rushing attack whatsoever. They only average like 1.5 yards per carry before contact, for crying out loud. This is the worst in the NFL. Stephon Diggs ain't 100% healthy. Kyle Rudolph looks slower than ever before. I don't even know who their number 2 receiver is. They've lost a couple of offensive linemen all year long. They're depleted at that particular position, so they can't run block. They can barely protect the passer. It's just that Sam Bradford gets rid of the ball quicker. I mean, what are we going to learn about the Dallas Cowboys here? That they can beat up on a depleted team? I mean, that's about all that you're going to learn. That their offensive line can, plug holes or push holes as wide as Broadway on a Sunday morning. I mean, what are we going to say? It's really nothing to say right now. I don't expect, nor do I anticipate, to learn absolutely anything whatsoever from the Dallas Cowboys in this particular game. As far as I'm concerned, Minnesota is depleted. Minnesota is not fully loaded. As a result, they're not the same team they were earlier on in the season. As a result, the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, is going to get away with having a basic gimme because the Vikings are only half a team right now. I don't anticipate we'll learn anything. Nothing at all.
Are you quite done? Look.
Yes.
Look. What do I always say? In the NFL, only the Patriots are actually a good team at all points in the season. Right? I mean, most teams, the character of the team, even the good ones, changes throughout the course of the season. Sometimes they wear down through attrition and injury and other teams figuring them out. Sometimes they get better as their offensive line gels and they evolve greater chemistry with each other and all those kind of things. But the Cowboys have forced their way into that kind of Patriots conversation this year, just this year, where they have been good all year long, really good, and getting better. And yet, when you look at the record, they've only played 3 playoff teams. They've had a soft schedule. 3 playoff teams. Washington, the Giants, and the Ravens. And those aren't like
Giants?
3. Yeah.
When did the Giants become a playoff team?
If
when
the season were to end today, those 3 teams would be in the playoffs. That's what I mean. That's what I mean by playoffs.
What they're doing this year.
Right,
I thought you were talking about. I apologize. I thought you were talking about recent history.
I didn't say 2-time Super Bowl champions. Then in recent history, that would be the Giants. I just said teams that would be in the playoffs right now. And those are not world beater teams. Let's be honest. And yet, the Giants actually have the best record of those 3 teams. And they actually beat the Cowboys. The one playoff team, if the season ended today, that the Cowboys played with the best record actually beat them. So even the good teams, even the Cowboys, you are constantly looking for evidence throughout the course of the season that they're actually good. And you're right about everything you said about the Minnesota offense. But the defense has been good all year, and it's never been less than good. And it's been great early in the year. There have been times this season where it looked special. And Minnesota's tough to beat at home. So if the Cowboys roll into Minnesota and they're the favorites to win, and they do win on the road against a good defensive team who's tough to play on the road, it gives you more evidence that they're actually an excellent team, maybe the best team in football, Stephen A. Smith. The Patriots haven't looked as good as they did earlier in the season recently either. They might be the best team in football. This would be more evidence.
Well, a couple of things. As an aside, away from football, it's hard to look through the screen and see and visualize you in all your glory. I'm not sure I like that haircut on you. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
The same haircut I always get.
I don't know. I don't know. Like a crew cut from the 80s. I don't know. We'll talk about it later. Let's get back to the football issue.
Got a lot of nerves talking about someone's hair. Go ahead.
You got the Dallas Cowboys, all right? Now, this is a team that's ranked 31st against the pass, Max. Yep. 31st against the pass. Here's the problem with that. Minnesota, that's the last thing you expect them to be able to do any damage with because, again, you don't have a running attack, you don't have a great offensive line, and you don't have, quote-unquote, great receivers, even though I like Stephon Diggs a lot. I'm wondering about his health. So because of that, I certainly don't expect anything from you from your running game. The combination of the two, if the Vikings are to have any chance in this game whatsoever, it's the fact that people believe they're playing with house money, because they're just not that good offensively. And as a result, minimal expectations. And because of those minimal expectations, they can turn around and play lights out and shock everybody else and catch the Dallas Cowboys sleeping. But I'm assuming that even though I'm disgusted with their fan base and I can't stand them, that the Cowboys themselves are not stupid or ignorant enough or arrogant enough to believe that they get to sit up there and take a pass and act like they've arrived when they haven't done anything in almost 22 years.
Look,
I'm assuming they'll be ready.
If you win 11 straight games in the NFL, you're really good. And that's what they're trying to do. That's what they're fixing to do, Stephen A. Smith. They're field goal favorites on the road. That's pretty solid. If you win 11 straight games, no mess-ups, no by chance the other team gets lucky and win, no sleeping on anyone, no quote-unquote trap games, you're really good. Any team that goes into Minnesota, I don't care how depleted the offense is, and beats the Vikings at Minnesota, that's a hell of a team. And that's these Cowboys, man. It's going to be, we both expect them to win. It's just, we expect them to win because we know they're good. I hate to say it, but it's true.
I don't want to hear from you anymore. I damn near don't want to hear from Molly because I can only imagine what she's going to say. But I'll say this. Go ahead, Molly. You want to sit up there and rave and throw in the pom-poms and rave about the Cowboys too?
I just want to know. I actually think the Vikings have a shot. This is potentially the toughest defense they've faced. Only the Ravens has a higher rated defense right now in terms of who they face. This defense is legit.
Boy, I hope y'all are right, but I sincerely doubt it. I hope y'all are right, but I sincerely doubt it. This is one time I wish I wasn't right because I usually
always assuming the worst of us.
If they had Adrian Peterson, they'd have a better shot.
That's true. Yeah. Well, you really went out on a limb there, Max. You really did.
Hey, he was only averaging like a yard and a half a carry before he went out.
Speaking of, let's get into it. We are in rare form today. The Vikings will be without their Pro Bowl running back, but on the bright side, Adrian Peterson is ahead of schedule in his recovery from a full meniscus repair. Sources told ESPN earlier this month that Peterson could return on December 18th against the Colts or December 24th against the Packers. Should Peterson return this season, Stephen A?
Hell no. Hey, stay home, man. Collect your money, chill out, come back another time, because obviously you know you're going to go on the downside of your career because you're over 30. You know what they say about running backs, that you have defied the odds in the past. I have no doubt that you can defy the odds again. But that's assuming you don't rush it and you put yourself in a position to come back 100%. I haven't heard any reports that have intimated that if Adrian Peterson comes back this year, he will be 100%. And I think that's exactly what he needs to be if indeed he is going to be that elite running back that we assume that he is, because we always assume that from Adrian Peterson, because it's AP is AP, and that's just the way it goes. I think that you don't jeopardize that. This Vikings team, even with Adrian Peterson, with the other pieces it does not have at its disposal, I think they're a piece or two away on the offensive side of the ball, whether they have Adrian Peterson or not. I don't think that he should risk it, because he would not be 100%. That offensive line is not fully loaded. They got a lot of work to do on that offensive line. Don't jeopardize your future. Don't jeopardize your career. Don't jeopardize the future Benjamins that are destined to come your way by trying to get something you ain't going to get this year anyway. Minnesota's not going to be better than Seattle. They are not going to be better than the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not willing to say they're going to be better than the Redskins or the Vikings or the Atlanta Falcons. Chill out, pump the brakes, stay home, collect the check, and come back another day when you're 100%. Don't do this now.
You're wrong. He'll never be the 100% Adrian Peterson that you're remembering from the past. If he's 80% of Adrian Peterson right now, and he has a chance to make the playoffs by coming back, he should come back. Now, I say I don't count someone else's money, but that's not true. Sometimes I do. In fact, I do a lot.
You do. Yes,
you do that a lot.
Yes, I do. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And Adrian Peterson's made a lot. And if he was a rookie or he had his whole career ahead of him, that'd be one thing. But he wants to chase a championship. He's a very competitive guy. Do you think the Sam Bradford trade was a mistake, Stephen A. Smith?
Do I think it was a mistake?
Yes.
No, I do not.
Okay,
no,
neither do I. And if you don't think it was a mistake, that's because you admire the fact that Minnesota looked at their roster and they said, this is a good team. And just because Bridgewater goes down, we can't give up on this season. And just because the going got rough doesn't mean you give up now. What's the problem with Minnesota? It's the offensive line. That's why Peterson was struggling even before he went out. But let's just from a kind of broader point of view, what's the problem? The running game. They really can't get that going. So play action, whatever, none of it's going to work. It's going to affect Bradford negatively, which is why, though he's not a great quarterback, he looks right now worse than he actually is. If you believe, and I do, and I think you do too, that Adrian Peterson is an upgrade, even 80% of Adrian Peterson is an upgrade, with the playoff berth still hanging in the balance, if you're the Vikings, you pushed your chips to the middle of the table this season, you don't stop now. And if you're Adrian Peterson and you have not won a Super Bowl and you're one of the greatest players who has ever lived, and he is, and you have a freakish superhuman ability to come back from injury, and he's demonstrated that in the past, then you take your shot while you have it, because there's no guarantee you will get a better shot. If he can come back and they're still in the playoff hunt, he should absolutely come back.
Couple of things. If my recollection serves me well, when Adrian Peterson got hurt a few years back and he went down in that game against the Redskins, he never tried to come back. He was out for the rest of the season. I think it happened, but then again, that's really not a non-issue, because it was like game 12, if I remember correctly, in the season. So he wasn't going to be able to come back from that. But what I'm saying is that entire offseason to work yourself out, not exposing yourself to a certain level of contact, et cetera, you got to remember, if he comes back, he's going to come back in the throes of action at the most heated time of the year, which is approaching the playoffs, when he's not 100%. I don't think he should take that risk. I also don't think he should take that risk because this is the NFL, whether it's the no fun league, whether it's all about business or whatever the case may be. We all know they don't give a damn about much, particularly running backs. Get your paper, get yourself 100%, and then come back. And then you got to be reasonable about what kind of situation and circumstances he's coming back into, Max. If you had Dallas's offensive line, I might be prone to agree to some degree anyway, but he does not.
I get
He's
that
exposing
point.
himself to the same problems that he had before he went down.
You're looking at it from his point of view, from a football player's point of, or from a football perspective generally. Teams ask and fans ask players all the time to make irrational decisions about their future, to sacrifice their health in the present at the expense of their future. And in Adrian Peterson's case, that's why I think it is significant that he is the age he is, that he is likely to go into steep decline very soon, based on the whole history of the league and running backs in his career, that he has a chance here, given the level of that defense, and that the level the defense is capable of playing on, that if he can make the difference, a tipping point in the offense, that it can improve Sam Bradford, you never know. You win a couple games in the playoffs, you're looking at the championship game, at least in the conference. You never know. And so even if it's slightly irrational for his long-term money, I think in the present, a competitor like Adrian Peterson, one of the greatest who ever lived, that could be important enough to offset that. And one last thing. I heard you refer to him as AP. I agree with you. He should be called AP, Adrian Peterson. But he is called AD all day. And that is very confusing. Because on Twitter, when I'm trying to tweet about him, I know if I put...
all day right now.
Well, okay, fine. But if I put AD, will people know who I'm talking about? If I put AP, will they think I got it wrong? And I didn't know the difference? Let's get on the same page about this. It is AP or AD?
First of all, that's not a good question to ask of you in public, whether they know what you're talking about, because I sit across from you every day and I have a hard time deciphering what the hell you're talking about half the time. So it's not really good. I mean, come on now. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Whatever, Molly. The point is, Max Kellerman, I get where you're coming from, but again, we go back to that offensive line. We go back to the working conditions under which he would be exposed to. We do have a license to not just look at what it was when you were playing the first couple of weeks of the season. We have a right to look at what has transpired with the Minnesota Vikings over the last 8 or 9 weeks and deduce what might be best and what might not be. And that's where I'm coming from with AP.
Fair enough. Dallas is favored by 3, and they are 5-0 on the road.